everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Margaret and Ntim, and I'm representing the beautiful country of Ghana. Today, this morning, I'm going to talk to you guys about two platforms, two issues that are very important to me. And one of them being education, and the other being healthcare. But specifically, sickle cell anemia. My platform is to improve healthcare and to educate the youth on how important sickle cell anemia is. With sickle cell anemia, I have discovered that a lot of youth are unaware about this disease. And it is just as important as AIDS and even malaria. But what a lot of people don't know that if you are infected with malaria and you have sickle cell anemia can save your life. Now, as the great painter Vincent van Gogh once said, I dream, I paint, and I paint my vision. My vision is to go out there, whether it's contacting local colleges, universities, about how important it is for the youth and women to know that they should go out there and get tested so that you know what your status is. As of today, sickle cell anemia is mostly found in Africa. African Americans, Asians, people from the Caribbean, the Mediterranean are also affected with it, but it's mostly common and found in Africans. And if you are a woman and you are interested in having family, I feel that it is right for you to go and get tested early to find out whether you have this illness. Okay, because now you know how to go about planning to start a family. And a lot of the youth, as I said before, are unaware. But my project would be to go out there and to just spread the message. Whether I crown Miss Africa USA or not, I will make sure that it's my duty to go out there and speak to the youth and women and just keep spreading this message, because this is something that everyone has to know. Because we're all sitting here and you never know, maybe one of us in here has the trait. But now it is so important for us to go out there and get tested. And as, like I said before, Vincent van Gogh said, I dream my painting and I paint my vision. As for me, my vision will be painted if I'm able to at least speak to one person and let them know that they can go out there and get tested.
Hello everybody, good morning. And I know I only have 3 minutes, but I really need to thank God for bringing me here, and all of you guys are safe despite the weather. I really want to thank the Miss Africa USA team for this amazing opportunity. So many beautiful contestants with such big visions, but do have to point out, most of the time when we turn on the TV, we see Africa, especially in the light of things like poverty, disease, hunger, pirates in Somalia, and what have you. Well, that may be true, but the vision, the memories that I have of Africa, of Cameroon, the country which I represent, are not based off of that. So it may be a fair statement for most of us to say, for me, if I were to say that the Africa that most of us know and love is very different from the one that's presented on TV. Okay, now I don't know about all of you, but I know for me, when I look at Africa, I see a country or a continent that is blessed with beauty, culture, and an opulence of natural resources. Okay, so that's where my platform comes from. Even though these visions are very separate, these perspectives are separate, if you dig further, you find one truth that they definitively share, and that's been echoed by most of you here in your project. Africa suffers from a very struggling infrastructure. Okay, so the inspiration for my platform comes from a very old proverb, and it goes, if you give a man a fish, you're going to feed him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, you'll be feeding him for a lifetime. Okay, now that's a very simple but very critical aspect that I feel is missing from most of the aid that goes back to Africa. But not to demean what is currently going back there, but to just bring light to the fact that Africa as a continent has evolved. We have a lot of enabled and strong people, so we need to take that aid to the next level. So to go down to the details of how I'm going to accomplish this building of the infrastructure is to support and raise awareness of microfinancing or microloans. It's a project that I believe would really complement Miss Africa USA's current organization, the African Women Development Foundation, in the sense that it would provide African women with the tools to support their families and provide for themselves, but at the same time it would build the communities in which they're in. And for most, I don't know if most of you know, but what is a microloan or microfinancing? It provides a small amount of loan to a woman for the purpose of starting a small business at very, very little interest rate. So when that business starts making a little bit of profit for them, they give back the money and it can be used for somebody else. So it's like that gift that keeps on giving, okay? So how am I gonna accomplish this? I have identified one organization. It was started by a young man in London that raised £1,000 with the help of his church. So if I were to be selected to pursue this, that is who I would look up to make this plan come to fruition. So the point here is a little bit goes a long way. $100 could mean a lot for an African woman in very grave circumstances. So if you educate a woman, you educate a nation, and that's how I'd like to end it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Mirabel Toh. I'm 22 years old, and I was born in Cameroon. And as a Cameroonian citizen living here in the United States, there are two main important values that I live by. First of all, education, which was instilled to me by my parents at a very young, tender age. And secondly, culture, which was instilled in me at a very young, tender age by my grandparents. I'm currently a senior at Georgia State University, majoring in biology with concentration in pre-medicine. And over a couple years ago, I met a very wonderful young lady. She's from Somalia, and today she's a very good friend of mine. And I remember having a conversation with her, and she told me one thing I will never forget. She said the main reason she's here today in the United States is because her dad made a promise to her and her 3 young sisters that as long as he is alive, they would never ever go through the painful process of female genital mutilation. Which leads me to my platform, which is to help fight against harmful traditional practices in Africa, which includes breast ironing, female genital mutilation, and so forth. But today I'm going to elaborate more on female genital mutilation, which is the process where there's the partial or total removal of the clitoris of a young African female. According to the World Health Organization, over 28 African countries go practices and with over 100 million victims. In Somalia, for instance, where the young lady that's my friend, where she's from, there are 99% of young girls go through this out of 100. In Djibouti, 95% of young girls go through this. In Kenya, 40% of young girls go through this. And to better understand the pain that these girls are going through, I'm going to read to you a couple of quotes from the victims. And the first one is coming from a 6-year-old girl from Djibouti. And she said, "I was under horrible pain when they cut me. All these women around me telling me to bury. How could I? I screamed for help. Father, Father, please save me." But nobody said anything. And the second one is coming from an older woman. And she says, "For me, it's too late. I've gone through it. But nobody will ever touch my daughter." According to the human rights calculator, such practices can lead to very serious health complications, which include cancer from breast ironing and infertility from female genital mutilation. And I firmly believe that these practices are what hinders the success of young African women. And as a pre-medical student, I plan to open up a small clinic in which these young victims will come to get treatment, not only physically, but also be mentored mentally in the implications and the risks that these have on their health, and so that they will learn about it, and so that we can help conquer this one generation at a time.